Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Murdo Todd. I'm delighted to be joined by a very special guest, Mr. John Fury. How's everything with you, sir?
Fine, fine. Nursing a bit of a cold. I've had a bit of a virus, but I'm alive still, so I'm still batting.
Good stuff. So we last spoke beginning of October. Obviously, a lot's gone on since then. Um, but both Tyson and Tommy are victorious in their respective bouts. How have these
Yeah,
last few months been for you and the Fury clan?
we're all right. We're doing our thing and just getting from day to day like everybody else. I've been a bit quiet myself, sort of things. I've not been well for the last 3 weeks. I've had a bit of a chest infection and other bits of things going on, and just taking one day by at a time. Really, it's all we can do, isn't it? There's many worse things happening at sea, but we can only get on with what we can do.
The most important thing, obviously, in terms of Tyson's career, is the Usyk fight is on for next month. Um, Ultimately, when you look back in hindsight, do you kind of regret taking the Ngannou route? Obviously, there was contract disputes at the time, but do you think you guys needed that?
Things happen for a reason in this life, son. And sometimes people need a wake up call, don't they? A kick up the backside, let's say. And that's what that was. But it stood him in good stead for what's happening now next month. He had a good 10 rounds. It wasn't easy. He boxed a very capable man in Ghana. And you're going to see a lot more damage from Ngannou in the heavyweight division in the near future. I'm sure of it. Yeah, he done what he had to do. He knows he's got to go to another level and do what's right. But listen, he had a bad day at the office, didn't he, Tyson? But he still can win on a bad night. 2 o'clock in the morning, ring walk, all different. Bit of a circus act, really. What can you do? These things are sent to try us. But as long as he's learned from it, he's still got the win and you can move on, can't you? Learn from what you do wrong. Learn by your mistakes, and I think you can improve on life. I'm sure he's done that. I can't tell you what's happening in the training camp because I've not been there. I've not been there, to be honest with you, and but I'm sure they've they've had the wake up call just like I have. If they haven't, they shouldn't be in the job, should they? That's as far as I can say really about that one.
And when you were assessing the fight yourself, was what went wrong apparent to you, or was it just one of those it happens, it's a bad night at the office, or was there an issue that you could pinpoint yourself?
Well, his full body condition was all wrong. His game plan was pathetic. Just nothing was right about it, was it? It was like Mickey Mouse had been in charge of the training camp, to be honest with you. So that's as far as I can say. I'm not going to bang on about it. I say what I say, and it was awful. But it just shows you how good Tyson is. Even when the game plan's wrong, everything's wrong, he can still get off the floor and win. But what should have been a comfortable night of boxing turned out to be a bit of a nightmare because obviously at that time they got everything wrong. Nothing was right about it. And he knew that himself, Tyson. He knew. But if they haven't got it right now, it's their fault. Nobody else's. So let's just see what unfolds. But I'm sure they will, because everybody's reputation is in the balance, isn't it? If he wins and looks sensational, it'll be great all around. But if he doesn't, heads will roll all the way around, won't they? That's just how things are, isn't it? So let's just see. Let's
You
just see.
say you see Ngannou doing some damage in the heavyweight
Yeah.
division. Do you think he beats Anthony Joshua in their upcoming clash?
Listen, he's a danger. He's a danger to any heavyweight in the division. I'm not saying he's going to beat AJ, but I'll tell you what, if any man can, it'll be him. Because he's in front of you. He can punch. He's a brave fella. He's big and strong. Unless you've got to have a set down there to mess with people like Ngannou. And he brings a whole new level of boxing to AJ. Big man, strong, the biggest opponent he's faced, the strongest he's faced, and probably the hardest hitting he's ever faced. And if he does detonate on you, unless you've got a cast iron chin like Tyson and desire like Tyson to win, you're going to stay down. He's a danger man. He's a danger man to all of them. Any heavyweight in the world. Tyson's extra special. That's why he's the king of the world. That's why he's unbeaten. That's why he's at the top of his game, because he's special. Even though people won't accept he's special, he is. But you'll know how special he is when Ngannou fights other people. That's if they turn up. But a lot of people today, they're worried about physique. And that's why people get pumped up, go to the gym 4 times a week, isn't it? Spend their life getting a physique because they know it bothers people, you know. And when another fighter looks at another fighter, he says a man's 6'6" and 18 stone of muscle, they bloody need a set of brown trousers before the bell goes, like Otto Wallen did. You know what I'm saying? And he could have that effect on Ngannou, couldn't he? I'm not saying he's going to do that for 1 minute, but it happened with Wallen because that Wallen wasn't the same Wallen who boxed Tyson. But you see, when they're coming to fight Tyson, he doesn't look intimidating, does he? Bit of fat here and there, a few bingo wings, on these smiley faces. He's not intimidating until he punches the crap out of you after 10 rounds, and you know how good he is. I think, bloody hell, that shouldn't have happened. But they do bring their A game. I don't know why. Even I've got grandsons now boxing as amateur boxing. Every time they box, the kids are fetching their A game. Look, even when Romans had 3 fights, they're performing out the skin just because they're fighting the Fury. Because they have that effect on people. And at the end of the day, bodies don't win fights. But all I'm saying is, Ngannou is a big, strong fella, and he's muscly, but he can also move, and he's athletical as well, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're there, he will take the top of your head straight off. And don't forget, he's a lot powerful man than any Andy Ruiz Jr.
Yeah.
And he's a good finisher. He gets you in trouble, you'll know about it. And he won't just do that with AJ, he'll do it to anybody out there. He's proved it with Tyson. Put Tyson on the canvas. That wasn't meant to happen, was it? Even though Tyson was saying that he's had a bad night and this, that, and the other, yes, that was the case, but I'm still not taking nothing away from Ngannou. I can still tell from his performance he was capable at world level. At world level. He can stand there with the Zangs of the world. He can stand there with the AJs of the world. He can stand there with anybody. So let's just see how things pan out. But styles make fights. Intimidation is a funny thing. It's a lot. Intimidation is 70% in the boxing world these days. Because if you look right, you might be worth a fish supper. But if you're there in the other corner and you look brilliant, all of a sudden the other man's his esty self. That's it, isn't it? It's over.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So moving on to the Usyk clash, we're going to get an undisputed champion. Hopefully no draws or anything happens between now and the fight. This kind of talk of an undisputed clash dates back to the kind of this in the 4 belt era in a way, to the Joshua Wilder days. We're going to get it. It's going to be massive. What's it like to be a part of, a massive part of this boxing era is going to be spoken about in boxing history for some time. What's it like to be a part of that kind of monumental event?
Well, I'm lucky to be alive to see it, ain't I? A lot of people who would love to see it, who would have meant a lot to, are no longer with us. But that's life. And like I say, those people, they've been took out of my life at young ages, and it would have meant the world to them. And probably it's took the edge off a little bit, knowing I'm the only one left of my era and my age group and my siblings to enjoy it, really. So for me, it's not about me and how I look at things. It's all to do with him, his legacy, his family, because in another 10 years, it's not going to make any difference to me one way or the other, because I've had the biggest part of my life already. I've lived it. And what I've done in my life, I've done, and I can't change it. But all I can do is sit now at my stage of the game and just enjoy. I hope my son reigns supreme, and retires unbeaten, fulfills his dreams, and does in life what he enjoys, makes him happy.
Yeah.
And some of us, it can elude us. And I'm one of them people. But I don't gripe about things that get on with my life. And as long as I can see tomorrow now, because I'm in my late 50s now, very late 50s, and I just say to myself, you know what, as long as I can look at it and be around it and enjoy it, well, I'm a lucky individual, aren't I? Very lucky. So, yeah.
It's a nice outlook on it. We've seen Tyson mix up his styles in the past. Obviously, you said you've not been in camp for this one. If it was up to you, How would you kind of play this one? Is it on the front foot? Is it on the back foot? Is it something new
Not
with
for
the
me.
weigh-in scene for
Do
Tyson?
you know what, young man? It's a good question, but it's not for me to answer you because what I'm thinking, I wouldn't answer you anyway because we can't give anything away, especially plans or what I think, you know. So I don't know anyway. I'm not training him, so it's up to his trainer and him to get the right plan in place for that evening. You know, and the only thing you can do there is just watch it on the night
Yeah.
because I don't know. I know what I'd like to see him do, but that's between me and God Almighty. You know, if you know what I will, because I'm not gonna sort of like give the edge to another party, am I? If you can understand that, not being disrespectful or anything like that,
No,
but
no, of
just
course, of course. I thought
whatever
I'd
we're going.
try
I
anyway.
don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know what he's going to do myself, son. I really don't. I don't. But it needs to be a lot better than last time, don't it? That's all I'm saying. And if it is, he'll win money. You know, he's a vet of the game, Tyson. He knows his job. He'll know what he's got to do on the night. All Tyson needs is to be fit and strong. If he's got them two things, it's going to be an easy win for him. And if he hasn't, good luck to the team, man. Good luck to him. That's all I can say
Obviously,
on
this
that
is going
one.
to be put on. This is going to be put on by the Saudis. They've become, I mean, they're probably the biggest player in boxing now at the moment. They're putting all these massive fights that beforehand it was weren't getting made. What do you attribute their success to? And do you think it's sustainable in 5, 10 years? Or are we still going to be seeing these big, big Saudi events?
Son, we can't look 5 or 10 years in the future. We might not have, the planet might not have 5 or 10 years left. You know, we could be on the brink of World War III at the minute. No one knows. I don't look any farther than the hour I'm sat in, you know, because your life can be took away in 30 seconds. So, and that includes the rest of the world. There's a lot going on at the minute. You got Russia, you got Ukraine, you got all this problem in the Holy Land, Gaza and all around there. So we can't look that far in the future. But for now, the imminent few weeks or so here, the Saudis done a great job, haven't they? They put the money up. They're making fighters rich who deserve to be rich because boxing is a hard game. And the Saudis have given them a chance to make some money, a chance what they'd never have made in Great Britain or America. Because unless you're a world champion in the UK, and then you don't make that much. Same in America. If you're not a big name, you don't put bums on seats and sell out arenas and stadiums. You're on the low end of the budget, aren't you? But in Saudi, even the opposition's paid well. Even the bill fillers are paid well. So I think, yeah, the Saudis have done a good job. You know, but whether they're going to continue to do so, if the world moves on to a better place, they'll keep it going. But I think 24 is going to be a telling year.
Okay.
Away from sports and boxing, away from everything, because we're living in uncertain days and times, aren't we?
Yeah, very
But
true.
until them times happen, good luck to the Saudis and a wonderful job. It's a wonderful country, wonderful people. You know, they treated me very well when I was there. You know, and what more can you say? They put the money where their mouth is. They pay for what they want, and they're getting it, aren't they? And people's going to run where the biggest paycheck is, and they've got all the biggest names in the world. You know, look at the photograph they made. There's some big names on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Brits wouldn't do it, or the Americans, or any other country in the world. So you've got to say fair play to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Great place.
absolutely.
Land of opportunity. The land of milk and honey. That's what it's
Yeah.
turned out to be. That's if there is anything like that in the world today. And I'm not sure it is. You know, but I wish everybody well. I hope all the fighting around the world stops imminently. And all we need to do is let man get on with man, isn't it? Be
Yeah.
sensible, get your heads together, all these powers that be, and say, look, stop all this killing, all this dying, suffering and pain. Because it's all in vain. All in vain. And the innocent suffer. The innocent are always the ones to suffer. Not the people in power, not the rich people. It's the vulnerable, the VP, what's dying, isn't it? For all the wrong
Yeah.
reasons. You know, so yeah, we stop all that, we can move on. And boxing then can play its small part, can't it? Because it is a small part to what's going on in the world now. If you
Absolutely.
look at the bigger picture like I do, we're in dire straits. We need to change. Mankind needs to change. They want to start getting along with one another. Stop arguing and bickering and killing people. It doesn't work. because it'll all end
Absolutely.
in tears. I wish them all the luck in the world. I hope we can settle the differences amicably, so we can move on and enjoy the world, God's creation. Because this land today and the world today wasn't meant for arguments and stress and strife and killings and murdering, because it's all in vain and it's all evil. So let's hope they can put a stop to it all, move on and enjoy the great sport of boxing, football, soccer, darts. I can go on forever and a day. Enjoy life.
Yeah,
Enjoy life. Because the best things in life are free, son. Always remember that.
absolutely. I see Tyson's got some young guns in his camp. Itoma, Oppenheimer made a short stay in there. Who do you see as the next kind of, once Tyson's out the game, Usyk's, Joshua's, who do you see as the kind of next formidable force in the
I
heavyweight
don't know.
division?
The old boxing moves on, doesn't it? Everybody looks great. And there's new guns out there. They're all looking good. It's who wants it the most, isn't it?
Yeah,
And who wants to get to be the next Tyson Fury. And I'm sure these young people out there with them kind of admirations in their mind. So at the end of the day, I wish them all luck. But do I study them as much as I should do? Probably not. But I'm sure the outstanding ones come to view sooner or later, don't they? But like I say, there's some good young fighters out there, what I've seen of them. So let's just hope they can prevail and succeed in a long journey to the top of the world. Not like John Fury, climbing a mountain and never get to the top.
just the final one from me, John.
Yeah.
Tommy, he's just had had surgery on his hand. Once he's kind of fully recovered from that, has there been any discussions on what's next for him? What would you like to see him do?
Not discussed anything with anybody because we knew we had this pending. It's been an injury, but he's been nursing now for the last since 2020, really, or earlier than that. And it's been a bad operation on his hand as well. It's a serious affair. We're just waiting for him to get right before we can even discuss anything. What the doctor did say it was a successful operation, even though it was a dangerous one. But he does see a positive ending. And like I say, all he needs to do now is rest. Keep his cardio going, do what he can to maintain some level of fitness, and just move into the repair bracket. Just rest, because rest is all he needs to do now. He needs to forget about everything else, do what he's got to do outside of boxing, maintain his level of fitness, and just wait and see what happens. And as soon as we get the okay from the specialist, he can train again. We'll up the job. He's not going to stop completely because obviously it can't be done. We're doing plenty of walking, plenty of running, plenty of cardio, plenty of stretching. Be eating right. At the end of the day, just get this hand healed and we're back to taking on whoever wants it, whoever makes the most business sense. But for now, it's just a recovery program he's going through at the moment. But he's got time now to reflect of his career, enjoy what he's done, spend some well-earned time with his family, his missus and his baby, and it's good time. It's family time, so he's not going to miss out there. And these things happen for a reason. And what's for you won't pass you by. So let's just enjoy today. He's got through the operation. It's a success. Let's just wait for him to heal up and we can get busy later on in the year. But for now, it's all about what happens next month, isn't it? That's the name of the game, 17th of February.
Yep.
But he's okay, Tommy. Thank you for asking. He's always in a good place. He's got a good network of family around him. And at the end of the day, he's another lucky individual, isn't he? So a little bit of an hand injury, he can put up with that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time, John. Best of luck with everything. And
listen, I hope you have a great 24 as well. Get plenty of great content. Enjoy your job. And I'll see you very soon, hopefully.
Thank you very much, John.
Next time I see you, we're probably talking about the Usyk win. Tyson's favour.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Best of luck with everything. Yeah.
Okay. See you later. Bye-bye.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.